Hi everyone and welcome along to day 9 of the Advent calendar. Let's see what's behind the door today. This is peppernoten, which is Dutch mixed candy from Sinterklaas. Grab your paints and let's get started. So we're going to draw a little bag opening out. So there's the sort of opening of the bag, and then I'm going to sort of have it kind of spilling off the page there, and we'll have a little string as if it's gathered. And when I was researching this, I found that these little peppernoten little biscuits often seemed to be in a little sort of pick and mix with these lovely little sort of coloured shaped sweets or candies. And I just thought from an aesthetic point of view that looked really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw lots of the biscuit shape, sort of spilling out the bag. So I do this little oval, and then I can either just sort of do a little shape inside it to create that sense of it, or I can do, if I've done it too narrow, I can add a little bit. But yeah, so we're just going to build up the shapes, and then I'm going to have a few of these sort of coloured sweets in there as well. And these look absolutely delicious. I'd love to know if you've had these before because they look awesome. I've got my bright colours just quite diluted in the palette here, and I'm going to begin by painting in the little sweets with these dilute colours, just nice and light, and sort of nice little pastel shades. That's the great thing about watercolours, is you can take some really strong dark colours that we've got in the palette here and then turn them into really delicate little shades. Now I'm not so sure about blue on its own, but I was wondering about a little purple. That's nice. But even that feels a bit strong, so I'll just clean off my brush. And then you could always sort of add in a few extra ones here and there if you haven't sort of drawn them in pencil. Just sort of help with the feeling of abundance, because we'll be adding little sort of layers to them all. So the great thing with pale watercolour is once it's dried, you can just use the same colour to sort of glaze over the top of it to make it look just that little bit more three-dimensional, like we've done just there. And I don't know, is this green dry? It might be. You can make it look a little bit three-dimensional or give it a little texture like that. So we're going to get those done. And then for our peppernoten biscuits, we need a nice sort of warm gingery brown colour. So a bit of red and yellow in with the brown. I feel like they'll make a nice colour. And again, make sure we dilute it down so we can paint the whole thing, and then we can do a little extra layer over the top once it's dried. So those have all had a little extra glaze on them. Apart from one I can see. So same colour, just another layer. And then what I thought might be nice is a bit of texture on the biscuits as well, because to the unknowing eye, which is mine, because I've never had a pepper notten before, they look a bit like amaretti biscuits in their texture, quite crunchy. I have got a brown and blue mix here, and I just want to see if I put in a bit of yellow. I want to get a sort of Hessian bag colour, and that's pretty good. Quite happy with that. And I'm just going to use my medium-sized brush to paint that in. And then also inside the bag. Shouldn't be too tricky because it's a very pale colour. And now just take a tiny bit of a stronger tone. Just come in the gathering there, and also just inside the bag. It's a little bit of a stronger colour. Lovely. So the last things to do, a little bit of colourful ribbon on the drawstring bag, and then if you want maybe the tiniest bit of shadow underneath the sweets. So I've got my little blue and brown dilute shadow mix here, and I thought I could just pop it in sort of over the top of everything in there. And then just here and there. Sometimes it's just nice to ground things a little bit. I mean, the bag included, I guess. So that's nice. And then a little ribbon . If you notice how I leave those little bits of unpainted space, it just helps give the ribbon a little bit more of a shine. And there you have some delicious pepper notten. And like I say, if you've tried it, tasted it, want to tell me anything about it, please comment below to let me know, because I love to hear about your stories. That's one of the highlights for me of the Watercolour Advent Calendar. But for now, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the 10th of December.